Joining us at 1 Million Cups Westminster. I'm the Executive Director of Magic. Graham Dodge, the Executive Director of Magic, one of our community sponsors, and one of the volunteer organizers here with the rest of our team joining the call today. So the format will be, we'll start now with our overview of 1 Million Cups. Then we will have our first presentation by Deborah Cancro from VoiceVibes, followed by the Q&A, followed by our presentation by Alejandro Jimenez from Everest Master. So we've got another, jam-packed day. So I will turn it over to Mick Mancuso to give us the overview of 1 Million Cups. Take it away, Mick.
Okay, so come on, can you see it?
It says that you started sharing it.
Okay, that's fun.
We got it.
Okay, good. Let me move this guy out of the way. Okay, welcome, and let me talk about the core program. We try to meet every week, and so far we have done so, except for Thanksgiving, which was planned, and I imagine we won't be meeting the week of Christmas, but so far we have been able to do so. We've started, what is this? Is this our 6th or 7th one?
Make your presentation showing.
Yeah. So the plan is we'll meet every Wednesday and have at least 2 presenters if we can. The important thing.
Screen.
You lost my screen.
Yeah, or it's on like a desktop screen now.
Okay. What do you see? Do you see the game up?
No, it was like a weird, like for me at least, it was like a black desktop with some graphic in the background covered by like some weird rendering.
Okay, so that's just my regular. So let's see. Oh, yeah. Is it up?
Yes.
Okay, good. So where was I? We have 2 presenters that come in. Each presenter has half an hour to take, 26 minutes. To first 6 minutes, give an overview about their company. And the important thing is that hang on just a minute. I need to get to the very first slide back. There we go. Okay. The important thing is that this isn't pitches. I mean, it's not, you're not trying to get new clients. You are giving a presentation of your business, an overall example of what you do, or a discussion of what you do, and then a discussion on how you do it, finally reaching the question of what we can do for you. You're giving us that information so that we can give you some good feedback on that. We're trying to create connections of small businesses throughout the community and outside of it, people who are doing much the same kind of thing that you are, as in trying to start a new business, sharing the information about things that I'm trying to do this and it's not working. Marketing, if you have to deal with if you have to deal with the city or other kinds of governments or other entities, you have a network of people that you can go to. Not clients, but people that are in your same situation. About us, about 1 Million Cups, nobody owns it. It was kind of started, and I can't remember where, but it now has many chapters, I guess you could call it, all over the country, and it's all volunteers that runs it. None of us are paid, and we want the community, like I said before, nobody's excluded. We want to make an inclusive community. And this is where I was before. The company has to be less than 5 years old, less than 5 minutes old, and willing to ask for help. And we want to be able to ask you, what can we do as a community to help you? So these are the people who are locally who are on our organizing team. You've seen most of them when you came in on Zoom, and now that's it. We'll go on with the presentation.
Great. Thank you, Mick. So we will just again real quick thank our sponsors, Magic, the Mid-Atlantic Gigabit Innovation Collaboratory, and Furnace Hills Coffee. If you go to furnacehillscoffee.com and you use the discount code 1MC Westminster, all one word, you will get 25% off your entire online order. So thank you to Furnace Hills Coffee for making that available to our members. And for those of you who don't know, and I think everyone here does, if you are a presenter, you will get one of these handsome ceramic mugs. And if you are Tamar Osterman there waving her travel mug, you will get, if you are like Tamar, be like Tamar, like the old be like Bo, or be like Mike, be like Mike. I was thinking Bo Jackson. Be like Mike Jordan, be like Tamar Osterman, attend 5 in a row and you get one of these travel mugs. And then we'll do t-shirts for those of you who do 10 in a row. So I think Tamar and Tina and quite a few of you are on your way to earning t-shirts as well. All right, so Deborah Cancrow. We are joined today by Deborah Cancrow from, she's the CEO and founder of VoiceVibes. She's our first presenter. Deborah, go ahead and share your screen and take it away.
Hi, I'm Deborah, and I'm happy to be presenting to 1 Million Cups in Westminster, Carroll County today. My company is VoiceVibes, and so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about VoiceVibes, what we do, share a quick demo, and I'm excited to get into a conversation about the help that we need, the challenges that we have, and seeing if we can engage with this community and all help each other to grow the community and to grow the technology landscape here in Carroll County. So our company, VoiceVibes, provides a training and coaching platform for oral communication skills. The need for our product stems from the fact that when interfacing with customers, when employees talk to customers, if they project authentic and confident vibes in their voice, the way they talk, customers are up to 13 times more likely to want to engage with them. That's huge. Now, this presents a challenge for managers who want to ensure that there's a consistent and positive customer experience across all of their customer-facing employees. That's hard to do. So VoiceVibes provides a platform to enable those managers to give feedback and coach employees and give them objective and scalable feedback in a way that's convenient and that they can do from anywhere digitally through our platform. So today I'm going to show you a quick demo, and right now, hopefully, you're seeing this conversation through the lens of our platform. And you can see right here within the tool, was I boring anywhere? Did I say or too much? Did I sound authentic in certain places? So hopefully I'm clicking around right now within the tool, showing you how I receive coaching from the tool myself. And then we'll talk about other things in a few minutes. But thanks for watching the demo. So that's the demo. That's the gist of our product, of how we provide automated coaching for people. And when I, as an employee, receive an assignment from my boss to practice something, say, practice for this 1 million cups, or practice a voicemail, or practice handling objections, I log in and get these assignments from my boss, and then I can immediately click record and start practicing. So this is what it looks like. And I'm able to record right through the browser, record through one of our native apps. I can upload a file. So for a call center, if I've got recorded calls, I can clip a call from any segment where I want to submit it for coaching and upload it and share it with my coach for call coaching. I can scrape from URL, or I can import from any Zoom call that I've recorded. So that's our platform. Quick demo so you all at least know what it is that VoiceVibes provides. And here, let me stop. Well, actually, before I stop sharing, I want to show you one more perspective. We as a company don't sell to end users. So even though I just showed you how our platform is used, we sell to people that are managing groups of employees. So I, as a manager, create assignments like this and then assign them to my team. And then I can check and see how many people have started it, how many people have completed it, how many people have flagged something for review, and I can go in and coach people. So this is designed to help people scale their ability to coach and give feedback to employees. And when we sell this, we target learning directors at large companies, learning and development directors, they're called L&D directors, sales managers, training managers, or company owners. Anybody who really, really cares to make sure that the employees are all making the best impression possible on their clients. So with that, that's in summary the ask that I have for this group. Now let me stop sharing my screen. Now you can see me directly. So that's my plea for help today for A Million Cups is if anybody has ideas of contacts they have that are involved in learning or in training their employees to make the best impression possible on clients, that's our target audience. So thanks for listening.
Great
You're
job.
still sharing your screen?
Oh, yes,
oh, I'm still sharing?
Yes, you are. You gotta go to the very top. Yep, there you go.
There we go.
Excellent. I loved that you started off with the record, because at first I was like, really? She's going to just do her demo as a pre-recorded message. And I realized then that you were actually showing us how the platform was analyzing your voice. That was very, very cool. So great job.
Thank you.
All right. So everybody, everyone here knows how this works. Please use the chat function to post any questions that you have for Deborah. And then I can go through and help moderate those. Something that I happen to know in working with Deborah through Magic is that she had some success in doing some really creative PR where she analyzed the presidential debate, the voices of President Trump and President-elect Biden during the original debates. And it was really fascinating. Deborah, do you want to maybe talk about how you came up with that idea and maybe the results and response from it?
Yeah, sure. The idea came to me is when I saw an advertisement for the debates and they released what the topics were going to be ahead of time. You know, they had 5 or 6 topics for each debate, like race in America and healthcare and these different debate topics. And I thought, wow, that'd be perfect for VoiceVibes as an assignment because our dashboard is designed for managers to give assignments to people to respond to. And so I thought we could capture Biden's response to that question and Trump's response to that question, and then objectively compare the two and see who came out on top in terms of authenticity or confidence or vocal delivery. So we made these little mini assignments. Each one had a debate topic, and then we scraped these segments where each one spoke and made it almost like a little mini competition. So we just got to see who VoiceVibes would pick as the winner for each of those topics.
And the answer was?
It varied, actually, depending on the topic.
Yeah, I think the second debate, as I recall, because I helped Deborah with some of the press releases that went out about it, the conservative news sites and blogs were the ones who were more readily sharing the results because Trump, his voice, oddly enough, for those of you who don't like Trump, his voice conveyed certain characteristics, which is probably why he's been as successful as he has in life, you know, that were compelling. And I think a lot of people interpreted that as him winning those debates. But or at least the second one. The first one, it was almost like them talking over each other. It was too much of that for it to be conclusive. Anyway, I thought it was really fascinating. All right, we do have some questions here in the chat. Let me go back to that. Let's see. Tina Thomas from Infinite Love Project asks, what is the company size of a typical current client?
We have various, we have some large enterprise customers, and that's great because we get to work with the learning and development organization. So large companies usually have a whole L&D function, and that's great for us because then those people are helping us to launch and to create assignments and really manage the project. But we also sell to smaller companies. I would say a sales team of 10 at least. We actually even have smaller, some sales teams of 5, but that would be the smaller use case. If there's a manager coaching some sales people, and onboarding is a very common use case. So if there's a manager that might have 5 new people a couple times a year, this is a great way to give them assignments, have them practice a lot of stuff and get confident sounding without taking anyone else's time.
All right, great, thank you. Next question from Steve Lowe at 127 Creative. He's asking, why not sell to end users?
Great question. Everybody asks that. We've found it's almost like a diet. Like people might join Weight Watchers, or people really struggle with doing things even though they know it's good for them. So we've found that if we sell to an end user, it just won't get used. They need the accountability and the oversight of some more formal structure.
And I would imagine too that selling directly to consumers is a much different revenue model, and we're,
yeah, we actually launched our alpha product many years ago at a Toastmasters international convention. So you would think if any end user would be excited, it would be that audience. And what we found is they all crowded our booth. They all loved the concept. We're so complimentary. We were giving it away for free, just begging them to give us feedback. And just a handful of people ever even logged in and gave us feedback. So those few people became great, users to give us feedback. But the percentage of people that actually use something versus those that intend to use something is very small.
Well, and maybe this answers Carrie. Carrie Pierce from Flip Yours Fitness and Change Space asks, what is the cost for the app software as a coach? I need this in my life, but can she actually purchase it directly from you, or how would that work if someone who's a coach wants to use it?
We partner with coaches, so we've some different models. If we sell to an enterprise, there's a setup fee, and we work with the enterprise that's licensing it, and there's some fees for those coaches, and then in addition, it's a per seat license. But for individual coaches that are local or small, we partner with them and we view them as partners, so we don't necessarily charge them a fee. They would pass on the end user fee and bundle that with their services. And it depends on how long. Our lowest cost is a 6-week license, and that's common for local trainers or coaches, where they might go in and do a training session, and then they might want people to have access to practice before the session and then for another month afterwards. So that 6-week license is $200 per user.
That's pretty reasonable. All right. Next question from Tamara Osterman at Maryland Economic Development. She says, Deborah, it sounds like the help you are seeking are B2B connections for business development. Have you done much outreach to business groups and associations, maybe by offering a free demo at a webinar?
Like this one? Yes, I do that. I do that from time to time. And if you know of any that you want to invite me to, I'd be happy to talk it more. But great idea. That is a great source. What's even better for us is other people doing that same thing. So some sales trainers that we partner with, they tour around and do a lot of speaking engagements, and a lot of the coaches they're good speakers. Like my partners are better speakers than I am for sure. So when they do a circuit and they promote the product, it's even more successful than when I do it.
All right, we have a comment from Mick Mancuso at Iron Crow Productions. Sorry, Mick. and one of our fellow organizers here at 1 Million Cups. He says there are some end users that could use this, people that want to go into audiobooks or advertising, for example. Yeah, that's a great idea. So for those types of customers, I mean, what would you recommend?
Yeah, we get that a lot for people doing podcasts, voiceovers, even individual entrepreneurs. A lot of us are doing our own voiceovers just because we can't afford anyone else. So I definitely practice my voiceovers and VoiceVibes, and it is a tool that can be helpful for that use case.
So maybe those types of users could work through an association, where the association gets the license and then makes it available to their members.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Tamar Osterman is added that financial services, insurance companies all have teams that spend a lot of time on the phone. Are those your target users, customers?
Those would be great. Yeah, it's services, whether it's financial, technology, services where a lot of times it's the experts that are the face of the company also doing the selling. They might be subject matter experts. Those people are highly valued by the company. So it makes sense if you could spend a couple $100 for a tool to help them be a little more polished, that little delta in improvement translates directly into people being more likely to want to engage with them, more likely to believe them, more likely to want to buy from them. We have a lot of data that shows that. I mean, it's like I said, it's like 13x from being extremely boring to extremely confident. People are 13 times more likely to want to buy from you. So those financial services and big ticket items like that are a great use case for us.
Yeah. I would imagine the robocallers, if you will, for during elections, you could use it for electioneering purposes as well. Tamara's inviting you to chat with her offline. So she has probably some connections for you there. Mick Mancuso also added another possible client base are people who teach voice acting. So similar to the coach model, right, where you have coaches that license on behalf of clients, you could have voiceover acting teachers doing so.
Yeah, actually, some of our partner trainers come from an acting background. So we love to work with trainers. Like we sell our product as a supplement to training and a reinforcement for training. But our best scenario is when it's in conjunction with a really good training program. So this is a supplement to that. And one of the larger companies we work with brings in an acting company that works with their consultants on how to do their personal brand statements and how to pitch the company and various things like that. So they actually come from an acting background and those are great trainers because they're really good at projecting confidence and authenticity and all that.
So what we always ask at the end of these Q&A sessions, and you already stated it at the end of your presentation, but maybe you can kind of reframe it for us real quick. But what is it that we as a community can do for you?
Thank you so much. Well, this is an honor just to get to be here. But intros or referrals to company owners or learning and development directors or sales managers. So people who really care that their employees are making the best impression on their clients. If you know anyone like that and want to refer them to me, I'd be very grateful.
Excellent. Julius, what do you mean by 2021 Biz Challenge finalists? What are you commenting on there? You can unmute.
Only that I practiced my presentation. I'm sure Jenna probably has a similar experience, but I practiced my presentation probably 100 times with so many different people, and I think a tool like this would have been really helpful.
Yeah, so Steve Lowe, if you're listening, maybe you and Deborah can connect over doing offering that as a perk in the program. Maybe, for those who are Biz Challenge finalists. He says he loves it. All right, there you go. So Deborah will connect you with Steve. He manages the Carroll County Biz Challenges. And so the idea that Julius is suggesting is that VoiceVibes could be, a partner in that to, to help coach those presenters.
Absolutely. I when I was doing my investor pitches the last few years, I always practiced in VoiceVibes, and then I would record myself live as well. But it did help me tremendously. I went up to New England and did that New England Venture Summit, and it was very competitive. There's investors from all over the country, and they have tracks. And I was in the seed track, which was the most competitive. There's over 100 startups in that track, and I won the whole thing. And I know it's because I practiced in VoiceVibes. Did I get follow-up money afterwards from it? No, but in terms of building that 3-minute elevator pitch,
Yeah.
I did well.
Well, and are you still looking for introductions to investors?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's hard, and there's and you have some competition in this space, and that's where some of the investors, they've their portfolios are invested in some other competitors in this space, as I recall when we were talking to some of them before with you. So maybe we can try to find some angel investors that can come in and help. So I'll follow up with you offline about that as well.
Yeah, I learned a lesson from that, Graham, because in that deck that we sent out, I listed competitors of all different types. We compete, in a sales coaching use case, we compete with one type of company. In a coaching training application, we compete with a different kind of company. Or for end users, it's a different kind of competitor. So I kind of listed all of them in my deck. But what I learned is when you send that out, people glance at it quickly. They see a name on that slide that they've already invested in. They're like, oh, I'm not going to touch that. And I lost the chance to even explain. But yeah, so I think next time I wouldn't necessarily put so many competitors when it's a competitive landscape, but we don't directly compete with those companies that I mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah, that is sort of you have to kind of put that out there and get the response and see how you're going to change it over time. And I think your PR angle on analyzing public debates or public presentations and then doing an assessment afterwards, I think that's an ongoing PR strategy that will work out well over time. So whether it's a presidential debate or whether it's some other, I don't know, an acceptance speech at the Oscars, who had the most authentic acceptance speech. I think reporters will love that. And so I would encourage you to keep up with that. And that kind of repetition will be like a drip campaign among the media, and that'll get your name out there more and more. And eventually, and this is what I've seen is that the customers that you're targeting, some executive at some point will see that and be like, oh, and they'll tell their, whoever to go call you. So that's how that can help. All right. Well, thank you, Deborah. Thank you, VoiceVibes. Let's just, I guess, a quick thank you again to our community sponsor, Magic, and our coffee sponsor, Furnace Hills Coffee. All of you know by now to go to furnacehills.com, enter the discount code 1MC Westminster to get your 25% off of your entire order. All right, let's kick it over to, let's see here, Alejandro Jimenez from Everest Master. Alejandro, go ahead and share your screen and take it away.
Hello, good morning. Let me share my screen with you. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Everest Master is a platform as a service where we provide engaging virtual experiences. First, let me point the following. It is a downloadable program, not VR yet. We are pre-revenue. We have developed an MVP, and we have events coming soon during the following year. Let me tell you why we created Everest Master. The story goes back to 2019 when I was studying online, and I didn't like the experience I was having because mainly two things were missing. In first place, I wasn't able to meet people inside the platform to expand my network per se, because the system itself, everything was meant not for you to connect with people. It was like, do your assignment, that's it, And it's very different from being in person. When you are in person, you can make those connections, make friends, speak with the professor, and that wasn't happening. And second place, there was a lack of academic environment per se, because when you are in an experience, in a learning experience, or in an event, you like to imagine and represent that event in your mind with this environment. So those couple things were missing, and I think it's not fair in the sense that we have all the technology at this time to make it different and to make it an engaging experience. The following solution came to my mind: developing a massive virtual world where everyone can learn, meet, and belong to a community. This can be done with avatars, virtual events, and environments for education, etc. Why now? So now is the right moment for a company like this because there is a huge market opportunity. There are few competitors per se, and also COVID-19 have demonstrated that we need more virtual solutions for those situations where you cannot go in person, and at the same time there will be more challenges in the future, and it would be great that every single event has a virtual version as well. Our platform has multiple use cases. Initially we created it for education, specifically for higher education, and the sales cycles there is too long for us to wait to get profit from it. So we decided to expand our use cases and offer our platform for virtual events or any other use cases at this moment. So you can use it for education, networking, trade shows, presentation, commercial buildings design. We can design the building for you exactly as it looks in the real world, and as well for entertainment. When it comes to market validation, we have looked at a couple of companies that they provide similar services to us and products, and they have many users. And this proves there is a demand in the market for this kind of service as well. Some of the future clients are Pearson, Stanford University, Berkeley, and the Department of Defense. When it comes to the market size, this was what I was talking about, referring to that this is the right moment. The virtual events market is valued at this point in $78 billion, but by the end of 2030, it's going to be valued in $774 billion, which is a lot, and you see that it's growing. The same for virtual education as well. It's going to grow 18% at least, and it's valued at this point $59 billion. So there is a lot of market for new companies to grow and make a lot of money. So being optimistic, believing in Everest Master, we think that by acquiring around 1% of the available market, our company can be valued $1 billion. This is a product demo. I think this is a very visual product, and it's better for you to see it in order to understand how it works. So as you can see, you have your avatar. You create your avatar. You can fully customize it based on your identity, whatever that is. And what you do is you can walk around the world having social experiences with other people, seeing the webcam, speaking with them. For events, we have these custom booths that you can bring your company images and logos and have someone here presenting the company. Like for example, meeting the vendors. You can have a vendor explaining everything. We can also have this table for networking, where you can have private conversations with people. You just sit inside the bubble and the conversation is really quiet. You can use it for trade shows, as I was mentioning, and everything you see here is customizable in terms of appearance. You can also have an auditorium for live presentations where you share your webcam, you share your screen, your computer, and you present to a live audience inside the platform. You can use the web browser and all the apps that are available online inside the platform, which brings a lot of value. Like for example, the Classroom board. This is a web app where you can bring a board and use it in your classroom to teach or to do math, for example. All right. Next, we have, all right, the business model. In first place, our business model works as a public space where everything is always going to be free. And here we use this part of the product as a demo to show you everything we are capable of doing. And as well, our new features will always be available there. So this is, imagine like being in the street, let's say. Then we provide a service of venue design, like, and I mean a virtual venue starting at 1,500, where we'll design the whole venue based on renderings or pictures you send to us from a real venue, and we make it pixel perfect, so it looks as real as possible inside the platform. In second place, we provide the live venue, starting at $2,000 per month, and you can have from 100 to 2,000 users commuting to the virtual platform all the time. This can be for, let's say, an academy, a university, a company that works remotely but needs an environment to connect people working in the company. Many use cases in that sense. And in third place, we provide the service of virtual events, starting at 1,500 for up to 500 to 2,000 users or more. And it includes the design of the environment and the hosting to bring many users connected at the same time. When it comes to our marketing strategy, the virtual events are key for us because they speak about our product. They are our product, and I think the product has to sell itself by its own merits. So if it is a good product, people like it, people enjoy the event, more people will come to us, we refer, we will grow from those opportunities. In second place, we look for partnerships with companies that are already vendors of other companies that may need this environment. So we can both benefit from this partnership. And in third place, we are looking to provide later on the marketing of digital marketing. And right now we are on direct marketing mostly, where I contact people directly on my own free time and establish those connections. When it comes to competition, Everest Master is the company best positioned for success in the area of virtual environments for events and education as well. We have a few competitors as mentioned, specifically for our target markets, and none of them is really focused on providing high engagement for the user. They don't care that much about the user experience, and that is actually key for us. What makes us different is that we focus everything we do in providing the best user experience possible. When it comes to our competitive advantage, we're going to be the first virtual world created just for education and for virtual events. It is easy to use, it's user-driven, optimized for communication, and above all, it provides engaging experiences for all users. And that's not everything. There is a world of endless possibilities of what can be done with Everest Master because the multiple use cases our platform has and the flexibility it offers as well. This is our team at this moment. We are a team of 5. You already know myself. I also co-founded a company called OU Webs back in 2017. My co-founder was actually my wife, Nashira Kuba, who happens to be the co-founder as well of Everest Master. We have our CIOM, our technical manager, Chime, our Unity developer, and Goran, our 3D artist. Well, I think the presentation has come to an end, and since I have presented so many times in 1 Billion Cups, I already asked myself this question: what can the community do for Everest Master? And the answer is help us achieve our goal. We want to have at least 10,000 users by the end of 2021, and this can be done just with B2B introductions or hosting events with us. In case you are planning to host a virtual event, you can come to us and we can help you make it through. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. Here you have my contact information, but I will be sharing it in the chat as well.
Thank you very much, Alejandro. Great presentation, very well polished. As you noted, you've done this before other 1 Million Cups communities, so thank you for sharing it with ours. People here joining, you can ask your questions for Alejandro in the chat box. And I'll also note that that was our last presentation of 2020. So, you know, we're going to be reconvening in 2021. So thank you, Alejandro, for helping cap off our first, season of in 2020 for us in joining us today. Let's see. Our first question here is from Josh Ambrose from McDaniel College. He says, thanks for sharing. I'd be interested in what you see as your key differentiator from all the other event and video conferencing platforms hitting the market right now for the education space. To elaborate, I'd be interested to hear more about what element of your platform makes it more engaging than the other ones on the market.
All right, yeah. So in first place, we have these platforms that rely only on video, where even you have these tables that are like on the browser and you click table, and you go from table to table and you have your video. Okay, that's good. But our platform relies on physics. Since we have created the platform from a video game foundation, everything that is possible in a video game is possible in our platform. So we incorporated law of physics from the real world. So we make the experience more natural. And if you were there, for example, right now we are in Zoom. We are all connected, but we cannot speak at the same time. Otherwise, we would be speaking over each other. In our platform, we incorporate proximity. So it means you have to move your avatar closer to the other person in order to speak with that person. Or someone can be presented to a live audience, but you still can comment something to the person next to you without interrupting the speaker. So it makes everything more real in that sense. And as well, we are not limited. We are not limited to just the event itself. Since this is a platform that is always growing, there are more features that our competitors are not able to incorporate in the platform at all.
Thank you, Alejandro. I also just note, I mean, the first thing that popped in my head watching the demo is Second Life. Did you take any kind of inspiration from Second Life, or is there actually like an open source code base that you're tapping into somehow through Unity to develop this?
No and yes. Okay, well, yes and no. Second Life is actually a good example and a bad example of how you can do this work. You can make this work. It's a good example because it demonstrated in the case of higher education that there was a need. The higher education was interested a lot in Second Life and they adopted it until things got wrong. Why they go wrong? Because the user have too much freedom. The platform wasn't created for education itself. That is different for us. We create the platform thinking about education and the standards. So since there were no standards, users had the freedom to do whatever they like. Teachers didn't have control over the classroom. It was very distracting. So the experience wasn't good for many of the professors and students. And as well, Second Life took wrong decisions, in my point of view, of deleting campuses that the universities were creating because they had the freedom to control their environment. That they didn't have any agreement with the universities at all. So it was hell for universities at the end. So they decided to quit Second Life completely. And I think that is what makes us different in the sense that we are a centralized company where we work directly with the universities and we create this virtual environment specifically to follow those standards that they believe should be there.
Excellent response. Yeah, very well. Obviously, it's very well thought out too in terms of taking lessons learned from Second Life in this case. And I'll just comment one more time. I'll get to the rest of the questions. We're in the middle of planning a virtual event at our organization at Magic that would incorporate games, right? So the options these days are Zoom, and what's very popular is a platform called Jackbox Games, where people are logging in through their phone and they're playing through their phone. But I would wonder if you could almost invert that and have the Zoom capabilities, which it sounds like your platform does, the conferencing capabilities inside the context of a game, rather than trying to pull the game into the Zoom meeting, have the Zoom meeting inside of a game. And that could be really compelling for like office parties as well, I would imagine, to have that 3D game environment that incorporates that conferencing and telecommuting aspect of it as well.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, it seems like your platform is capable of that. All right, back to the questions here. Mark Weingram says, because this platform is so comprehensive, it seems that there may be some challenges to deploying your MVP without trying to keep building out all the promise that it has, what are your plans to hasten the feedback loop that will allow you to adopt for customer needs? An example like my office party idea.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Yeah, I think every company, mostly with software, I guess, they face the same challenge. You will always have this feedback request in a specific that may work only for one single client. I think at this point, since we are so new, we cannot be that selective in terms of let's not develop the feature because that is not part of what we are doing. We need to be flexible in order to make profit and growth. Of course, it has to be within the reasonable measures. And if I think we and we grow, we have to follow our mission and our vision of what this solution must be for most of our clients. But at the same time, the platform is really flexible to make any integration with any API or program from the web as well. So we are not limited to be creative and help our clients achieve their goals in that sense. So it really depends. It can be case-to-case basis, but as we grow, we will have even more features. So maybe those features already will cover these needs. At this time, we are just looking for opportunities, let's say.
Yeah, I think those opportunities will abound as people get bored of Zoom and they get bored with what is turning into like the typical virtual conference, and they will be seeking out those opportunities to try something new to differentiate themselves, their event, from other virtual events. Deb from VoiceVibes, who presented earlier, says, amazing. Did you say that you and your wife developed this all yourselves?
No, I didn't say that. We are the co-founders, but I have background as web developer, but it's different from game developer per se. So we have been the founders, but we have managed our developer and our designer through all this process. Maybe I may sound even like I know the technical part of it, but I haven't created it on my own. I think every company, even startups, is very important to make a team where everybody has different skill sets. And I think that is what we have done in order to grow faster.
Thank you very much. Okay, and Rick Leinbach from Startup Portal says, if you achieve 10,000 users by the end of 2021, what is your expectation for their usage activity? Have you been able to get advertisers within the platform? For example, Furnace Hills Coffee here in Westminster or Dunkin' Donuts.
All right. So yeah, we are not there yet with the advertising. Having sponsors and advertising inside our platform is something that will come along in the future, only in what I describe as the public space, because that is the space that will belong to us and not will deal with any of our clients per se. And I think, yeah, we are still growing, so there is not much to do about it yet. Yeah.
Deb followed up her question with, are you focused on selling to education or professional conferences?
At this point, we are focused on selling to professional conferences and virtual events, still having conversations with education, but no, we are, well, since our only marketing tool at this time is direct marketing, it all is based on my time. So I am spending more time into other use cases rather than education, because education will be too long for us to make profit.
And Josh Ambrose follows up saying, Josh from McDaniel College says, this seems like a resource-heavy platform, and he notes that Microsoft Teams by itself slows down his computer. How does your platform perform across different machines?
Yes, so we created this program very lightweight in the sense that we understand we created initially for students, and not all the students have access to, let's say, good performance computers. So any average computer should be able to to handle the software, and as well, we have put all the effort into that since the beginning. All the graphics look as good as possible with really lightweight design in the back. So it could look better, but I think we have made it look really, really good when it comes to performance, based on performance, because the more you put into the appearance, the more performance you get. So we think we found a good balance there. And I think most people with at least an average computer and an average internet connection should be able to get inside the platform without any issue.
And is that within the browser?
No, it's a downloadable program.
Downloadable program. Okay. And then I think, I mean, my own thought is that with the style of the avatars being human and trying to approach some sort of photorealism, I feel like the more you get photorealistic, the more in that uncanny valley you will be, and that may be kind of freaky to people. And that I would wonder if you would have the option to have them select different types of avatars. So if I was hosting a virtual conference, I might say, hey, I'd rather have cartoonish looking avatars or like amorphous blobby type avatar than something that is trying to look human and realistic.
To be honest, I don't think so. I think the avatars are like, for example, Disney and Mickey Mouse and Donald. They find a design, they have a style to follow, because otherwise you will see the cartoon and you will not recognize who is from. You will know. So I think we have to follow certain style and keep it there and maybe improve it over time, but it has to be the same. So otherwise we won't be recognized quickly on social media, for example.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I can see how that. I also think of that world of what's that video game movie that Steven Spielberg did?
World of Warcraft?
All the avatars, Ready Player
One.
Ready Player One, yeah. And everyone, and you can choose a different avatar, you know, in the middle of it all. You know, you can be Freddy Krueger one moment or Mickey Mouse the other. I can imagine how that could make it challenging to have a consistent, have that recognition in your conference among people. But yeah, I still would think that there's some other opportunity there as like a conference person, as someone who would be hosting a virtual conference. I would want maybe some sort of option to say, okay, these are the avatars that people can choose from, and it's unique to each person, and that there's a name badge that somehow goes along with it that I can identify somebody across a virtual room, so to speak, if I want to go talk to them. Mm-hmm. Anyway, well, you know, you already answered this, or you already stated this at the end of your presentation, but maybe you could just kind of reframe real quick, recap what our community here at Westminster can do for you.
Yes, you can help us with introductions to businesses that are planning to host virtual events, or you can host your virtual event with us. It doesn't matter really the use case. It can be a small event, let's say 10 people to 20, or it can be a medium-sized event like 500 people. It doesn't really matter. The only difference is that if the event is really small, you will get it for free. So you have like a book club or something like that, where you have 10 people and they want to share inside the platform or meet, that would be for free in our public space without no problem.
That's very exciting. It's good to know. Yeah, so anyone out there who's doing a small get-together virtually, you want to do something for the holidays with your family maybe, and you want to do something different than Zoom, check out Everest Master. Sounds like it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Are there any games within Everest Master? Like, can I play a game within it with other players?
Not this point per se, but let's say you use the browser. So you connect to a video game online. I don't know how you're going to control it though, but it could be possible in certain way, but no, not yet. We haven't created games per se.
You have the players play rock, paper, scissors.
Oh yeah, that could be a good one too.
Very cool. All right. Well, I think thank you, Alejandro, for presenting.
Thanks to you.
Again, thank you for being our last company of 2020 to present at 1 Million Cups Westminster. I will hand it over to Valerie Giovanni to take us out. Val, are you there?
Yeah. Thank you, both Deb and Alejandro, for your presentations today. And thanks for everybody who keeps coming back. What a great kickoff we had to OneMC this 2020. And as I keep telling everyone, we're going to wake up on January 1st, 2021, and it's all going to be different. So I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you guys next year.
That's right. I think January 6th is our next meeting, but we don't have anyone slated yet for that, but we will
We will.
hopefully by then. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.